My name is Fyonna Vanderwerf, and if you are at canfitpro on Facebook, you are at the right time in the right place. It's 12:30. I'm here to talk to you about my experiences, not only as a pro trainer. I may share with you some naughty bits about some client stories, motivating stories, mentorship stories, things I did wrong so you don't, and more importantly, telling you about the great certification program, and more importantly, the great family that canfitpro represents. So again, my name's Fyonna. My background in fitness, fun story, is I actually failed grade 10 gym. My teacher informed me that she'd never met anyone more spastic and passed me in grade 10 so I wouldn't have to take grade 11 gym with her. So for some people that might have been quite a deterrent, but for me it was incredibly motivating because I went, wow, they think so little of my physical prowess. Awkward. So let me see what I am capable of. So here I am. That must have been when I was 13, 14. I'm now 49. I've completed 3 Ironmans, the last one being top 3 in my age group. I've completed over 140 marathons, triathlons, and long distance races. I've been a competitive bodybuilder for 5 years, most recently going to Worlds in 2017. And next year, I'm very excited to be stoked at the Olympia in Las Vegas in September. Secretly excuse to get away with my husband. Why not build and eat properly at the same time? I love it. So all of those activities that I have done, along with raising a family of 2 and having an amazing client base since about 1997, I've actually done with canfitpro. My first certification with canfitpro was as a personal training specialist way back in the dinosaur ages, yes, before bank cards. That would be 1998, 99. I've gone through 1 manual change since then, because of course with canfitpro we're always looking at current trends, and updated the material. After that, I went and got pre and postnatal as well as older adult specialists, 2 of our great programs of the past that we've retired because it was time. Then went on to get my fitness instructor specialist, my nutrition and wellness specialist, which of course has advanced into one of the best courses out there for sure for nutrition, healthy weight loss coaching. And most recently, I claimed on with the fascia movement assessment course, which is one of our most functional and one of our most, I feel, one of our most successful strategies in the fitness industry, is giving people tools to be able to assess and see how people are different. Because honestly, I think we've all experienced this as personal trainers. You've gone into a gym, they've given you the basic 8 machines, and you don't fit 2 of them because you're too big, or you've had a knee replacement and you can't do some of the machines, or you can't reach up above your head because of a shoulder injury. You're limited. So with the functional movement, we have opportunities as well to advance on strategies and ideas from our personal trainer specialist certification that I'm here to talk to you about. So again, lots of background for me, but again, canfitpro has always been a part of that. I've attended the conferences for, I feel like it's been 15 years. And that is one of the prime points of being a personal trainer, is you're always learning, you're always getting different information. So with the personal training specialist certification course, we have progressed it so much from when I first started. It is really night and day. One of the best parts about the personal trainer specialist cert is actually this manual. I probably go into this manual once or twice a week, depending on where I'm at with my client base. And you can see, of course, that there's like highlighty stuff and scrawling and things like that. This is such a valuable resource. What is even cooler, probably shouldn't even tell you, because if you're not sure about taking the course, like this will get you for good. but we also have a online aspect as well, because we realize transitioning over the time that we have at canfitpro that people change. So we have an online component to the course that we prefer you to take before the course in person. We have a vast resource of material, both written and visual, but not just information to memorize and spiel out an exam. There's also a lot of facilitation coaching in here as well, which is something missing from quite a few other personal training courses out there, just as a heads up, right? You need to be able to communicate with people, okay? So why take the personal training specialist course with canfitpro? Well, number one, I've taught both versions. I have transitioned into the not so new version. It's been with us for about, I think, 3-4 years now. And you know what? It's tough. It's a hard course. It's a hard written exam. And it's a hard practical exam. And you know what? That's good. Our population is evolving and changing. You're definitely seeing more limitations. And more importantly, people are starting to advocate more for what they want in their health. So if you want a cookie cutter fitness program where you just learn about machines and then you take on 20 clients a day and you just put them through the same 8 machines every day, I got to tell you, this course isn't for you. You won't get anything out of it. This course is tough. It's 28 hours long. I teach in the Muskoka region. I have for 10 years, going on 11. I feel like I'm getting my jacket this year at the conference, I'm not sure. But I've probably taught about 30 courses. And the last course I taught, it was really tough. We talk about all the things that you think we would do with personal training. We talk, of course, about muscles. We talk about the energy systems. And for everybody that likes to groan about ATP-CP with me, when you're able to explain it to a client and talk to them about how their food manifests into the mechanical energy we need to move and reach for things and make more functional, it starts to take on a fun little element. So as a personal trainer, you have to be willing to invest in understanding concepts of the energy system, understanding concepts of cardiorespiratory, understanding flexibility. It's not enough to bend to touch your toes. There is so much more to that. We talk about the 3 planes of the human body. It's not just walking forward. We go up and down, we go side to side. And if we're in Zumba, we do a little bit more. Don't even start me about Zumba, because I love that too. And as a canfitpro member, you actually get a discount with getting a Zumba cert. So back to the PTS course. We also talk about body mechanics, the skeleton. My background, you don't, and again, talking about backgrounds, you don't necessarily need a lot of information in order to take this course. It's certainly helpful to have a good base, because the more you learn, frankly, the more you need to know. But my background is in physical anthropology and classical antiquity. So skeletal structure for me is probably my most exciting part of the course, because from the skeleton provides movement. You can see nutritional health in the skeleton, and everyone's skeleton manifests itself differently through posture, through genetics, through hereditary. So looking at somebody doing those dynamic and static postural assessments, which is also something that we've included in the personal training course. It's not enough to walk in with like a little clipboard and saying, here I am, I'm ready to take you through an hour of a workout, how you doing? We teach you how to do postural assessments, so you can see if somebody has a rolled shoulder, you can see if somebody's got elevated scapula, you can see if they're using their glutes to stabilize. And of course, in PTS, we learn all about this terminology as well. We don't refer to body parts by their more street version. I know I'm 49, I probably can't say street, but again, we want to make sure that we know all about our glutes and our posterior. Glutes are the steering wheel for the human body, so you need to understand how that works and how that works with your posture, how that works with movement in the 3 planes. So we talk about that in the course. We also go into coaching people. Not everybody is going to want to do personal training. I hope this isn't a secret, but it's true. Not everybody you know in your life wants to be coached by you or wants to be coached by someone else, and that's fine. So we talk about the Transtheoretical model of change. We talk about where people are in relation to how much they're willing to be motivated or dedicated to make changes in their life. Sometimes people make those big, bold changes that we hear about, and sometimes, like with some of my clients, the simple habit of waking up 20 minutes earlier every morning so they're able to do a few minutes of meditation and having a glass of water and maybe having a few minutes of gentle stretching. Creating long-term habits. So we coach you about that. We also coach you on how to deal with people who are struggling. I don't like to use the word difficult. I think everybody that you meet, not only in course or as clients, but in life, everyone's got a battle. Everyone has something that either motivates them or holds them back. So we talk about facilitation a great deal in this course. So if you're very much about memorizing lots of information, regurgitating it onto an exam, you will struggle during the practical, because the practical is all about those facilitation, taking care of people when you're training them, looking out for them, that mind-body connection between client and trainer or coach, whatever language you want to use. We prefer specialist, and connecting with people. One of the best things about doing a in-house course as opposed to online courses, because certainly as a pro trainer and as somebody who's been in the fitness industry almost 25 years, I've done online courses and I've done in-house courses. And with the online course, as a prerequisite, you come to the course with knowledge, and then for 3 days you get to connect with lots of other people. Some people have great volumes of experience, and some people have minimal amounts of knowledge about fitness and movement. It's always a neat mix in courses. With canfitpro, the last course that I taught, I had a number of people who were brand new to any fitness and bioenergetics. We had to talk about, how many parts to the hamstring there was. So very beginning, but earnest, asked lots of questions, wanted to know more, and were there to make a change. And more importantly, they were there because they wanted to make a change in other people's lives, which I think is great. We also had people that had tons and tons of information, came with a great knowledge source. So as a personal trainer, and as a pro trainer, I always find when one person is teaching, two people are learning. So I always get to take lots away from my course participants as well. By the way, I should mention, because I like to talk, that we do have an option of answering questions or putting in comments below if you're watching this, and we'd be happy to answer them kind of towards the end of our Facebook Live. Okay, so one of the fun things about why you should be certified, awkward. So in Muskoka, 70% of the coaches, trainers, instructors, anybody that's working in a facility where they're helping people work through physical fitness and physical movement, I would probably say about 70% of them are certified. They may have taken a course at some time, I'm sure, right? Came in with an honest heart, but they haven't maintained their certification. Or they've done an online course. I did see that one on Groupon.com that was $29.99. I took it just to see what it was like. And let me tell you, if you came to my facility in Muskoka and wanted to be hired with an online $30 course, I'd unfortunately have to recommend mentoring or coming in and doing the canfitpro course. It's not enough to take care of people. Taking care of people is a biggest trust factor. One of the worst things I could ever do as a pro trainer and also as a personal trainer is losing the trust of my clients and my class participants. You got to go the extra mile for people. It's important. And again, with taking PTS, if those 30%, for example, in Muskoka, were certified and qualified, that means when you ask to see their certs as somebody who wants to do training with them, you know that they're insured, which means if there's an accident, they're taken care of. Not all facilities cover personal trainers in their gym, so you want to be mindful of that. You're also saying that when you're certified that you're willing to be assessed. canfitpro runs a very comprehensive personal training specialist course. So we not only ask that you well, we don't ask, we kind of tell you, that you need to write an exam. You need to have a cumulative 80%. It is multiple choice and it is short answer questions. If there's any challenges with providing that either written, I've certainly over the decade that I've been a pro trainer, certainly supported people with learning challenges that might prevent them from writing everything out, or maybe they need the questions read to them, that kind of thing, right? So we definitely accommodate for that, but you need to get 80%. I don't try to find marks. You either have the 80% or you don't. And it's a tough exam. I've had kinesiology students who have graduated, great marks, amazing marks, not pass. I've also had people that have been stay-at-home moms for 2 decades, applied themselves diligently, and had 95 averages on the exam. One of the great options of being certified with canfitpro is that you can work in tons of different places. So one of the things that I do in Muskoka is actually go into Corrections Canada, and I certify people within those correctional facilities to be certified personal trainers. So when they come out, they have a career. And I have to tell you, in the years that I've been doing that, not only have the people that I've certified not been reinstated in the penitentiary system, they've all gone on and had careers as personal trainers and openly used the fact that they have been in a prison, jail fit, prison fit, all kinds of stuff. Fantastic opportunities. So everyone has an opportunity to learn and to take these kinds of courses and to get certified to make a difference. So again, lots of options out there as a pro trainer, but also as a personal trainer as well. All I did was the ask, and they said yes. It also opens up a confident mindset. It opens up training abilities as well. So you might be really, really book smart. I like to think that I'm book smart, but I'm also facilitation smart as well. So the course for canfitpro teaches you about how to connect with all kinds of different people. So when you're doing the practical, right, leading back to our certification path, you also need to get 80% on the practical, and you need to take somebody through a personal training session. We do cover the parameters of the practical in the course as well, and it's an opportunity to demonstrate those great facilitation coaching skills. Simply asking someone how their day is going, seeing somebody struggle with an exercise and being able to provide a modification for them, a progression or a regression. We don't say good or bad, easy or hard. I have clients that wall push-ups for them would be incredibly difficult, and I have clients who would say one-arm push-ups aren't hard enough. So, right, you got to be extra careful. The written exam takes 3 hours. The practical exam takes an hour, and again, you do need to get 80%, not a coasting on the line 80%, solid 80%. I feel really good when I certify people. I probably certify 7 out of 10 people that come through for my practical exams, and when they're certified, it's like me saying, you know what, you can train somebody I really care about the next day. I like to have fun, but I do take certifications very seriously. It's important to learn and it's important to know. I feel really great about the canfitpro course. The PTS course I think is solid. And I have heard comments, of course, about, oh, it's only a weekend certification and, it's not that hard. But you know what? We always say it's a foundation course. We have an expectation at canfitpro with continuing CEC credits that you're going to continue to learn and manifest an intelligence, both in facilitation and both in body awareness, different trends in personal training. Developing your niche is really important as a personal trainer. So making sure that you're always aware that you're representing the canfitpro brand. And it is foundation-based. It is a weekend, but you can grow and develop from that as well. I'm quite proud of the weekend course. Well, it actually went over 2 weekends that I did almost 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. And I have done so much with it. So I guess that leads us to Our next super thing is what to do with PTS. Well, honestly, I like the idea of what can't you do. It's a starting block. First of all, you're coming out, somebody has assessed your competence with a written exam, but they've also seen how you move on the floor. I can't tell you the number of people who have passed the written exam, done great, and actually lack basic people skills when they're doing their practical. So super important. If you're coming out and you're insured, you've had someone assess you for your skill set on the floor as a trainer, people know that you can modify equipment, you can modify exercises, you can do postural assessments. You're good to go in any facility. One of the things that I do as a personal trainer is that has worked for me as a bit of a tip, I don't want to say a hack, but a tip, is when I'm training in the gyms that I train in, I don't wear headphones. I look professional, and inevitably somebody will come up to me and I'll say, hey, do you want me to like just do a quick postural assessment on you? Or hey, do you have a couple minutes? Or they'll maybe come over and see me doing a fun and unique, safely done exercise. And they'll ask if they can do a modification of that. So as a personal trainer, know that you're always on whenever you're in a gym facility. So wearing headphones and training to have your alone time actually takes away from your client base, your potential client base. Another thing too is when you are certified, we do ask with PTS that you do 4 CEC credits a year to remain updated, of course, as well as your CPR AD. We like to make sure that you can save a life just in case you have to. And for CECs is as simple as doing, coming to our conference. We have the world's best fitness conference. So if you have not partied with us in August in Toronto on Front Street, where for 4 days there are other quinoa eaters, there were people looking for protein shakes, and it is a fabulous opportunity. I think last year we had around 15,000 people from across the world. It's amazing. You really got to come and experience it. And if you're interested and you're still on the fence with doing the personal training certification course, you should really call the canfitpro office and see if you can snag a trade show ticket. And if you can't, if they're mean, which of course they're not, you can certainly visit me on Instagram at BeFitWithFyonna, or you can visit me on Facebook at Fyonna Vanderwerf, or you can find me online at www.befitwithfyonna.com or befitfyonna@gmail.com. That's enough personal spieling. But I will find you a trade ticket. You got to come check it out. It'll show you the opportunities as well. To speak to my personal opportunities, so I've gone into correctional facilities and certified people. I have, with permission, of course, with canfitpro, adapted the course to go into fire halls to certify firefighters in personal training certifications to maintain their fitness standards. I've worked with a few clients who have been in preliminary training for police foundations and also for the armed forces. Very specific fitness training, but definitely was comfortable with that. In Muskoka, of course, we have the area where people just come up for the summer, our cottage residents that may have private gyms in their cottages that are really 10,000 square feet houses. So I've had the opportunity to go and train with actually NFL teams at private cottage retreats. I've worked at resorts as a personal trainer. Presently, I have a couple of clients that I train on their docks. I literally bring portable fitness equipment and do small group training on docks in Muskoka. And let me tell you, sweet, great gig. But I feel good with that because I have proper insurance. I know I'm qualified and I'm currently certified. So one other great thing about being a canfitpro PTS is that we do have lots of, I like to say, perks for you. So we do have really great rates on insurance if you go to our website. We also offer a number of discounts. I cannot spiel them all. Honestly, I can't. But they are on our website as well. So you can certainly access that. you need as well in terms of things that you can do. It's not always about the hands-on personal training. It's also about writing about personal training and coaching. I've had the opportunity since being with canfitpro as a personal trainer. I've written for a number of major publications, including Chatelaine, Optimize magazine. I've sold pitches to various other magazines and online formats, and been approached to do podcasts and other information areas just because I put it out there that I was interested. Or, hey, I've got a really great idea about hormones in women in their 40s and how things change as a woman in your 40s from where you were in your 30s. So knowing that a lot of people resonate with that topic, going to a local store and pitching a workshop has given me 20 to 70 people to come in and chat. And as a certified personal trainer, obviously with a bit of a nutritional and some other developments too, it's lucrative. And lucrative being that you're changing people's lives, the return on investment by doing the ask. You have to be comfortable with doing the ask. So as a personal trainer, please don't forget that you're selling yourself. You're selling your skills in a totally legal way, by the way. But you want to increase not only the wealth of your clients by giving them really great tools and information, but you also want to give yourself the wealth in your brain by always getting certified, maintaining your certs. One of the best deals we have at canfitpro right now is actually our FMA, so our Functional Movement Assessment course. This is one of our aspects to the personal training course that we offer, where we do assessments of like posture types. These are handy. I actually have them on my clipboard that I use for clients. And it is a 6-hour course where we just delve in just a little bit deeper than we do in our base course, personal training specialist. So what's great about this is if you've taken the PTS course, this is $99 and it's for CECs. So if you cannot possibly make it to the conference, I'm sad for you because you really should go. And not just Toronto, we have them all over Canada, of course. You can take this course, $99, 6 hours of your time, 4 credits, you're done. All you have to do is recertify with your CPR to remain a current canfitpro trainer. One other thing that you can do as well as a personal trainer, again, it's that idea of going out. You are creating that opportunity for resilience, for purpose. You're helping people reinvent who they want to be. So if anyone here watching is old enough to remember Romper Room, where they put the little mirror up and said, I can see you and I can see you, as a personal trainer, you're actually holding that up and saying, you know what? I see you. I see what you want to be. I can definitely coach and help you get there. I can do it safely, efficiently, effectively, and with some enjoyment as well as some hard work. So those elements of program design. That leads me to one of my challenges as somebody that trains in the industry and as somebody who does hiring for personal trainers is some people work in a gym. They're great in the gym. They have gone to the gym for years. They know how to do their type of training program. And then they come and they take the course, and that's the only kind of training program they can do. I was very guilty of this when I started because I was a triathlete, and I thought everyone should do triathlons. So all my programs were based on improving the skill set of triathletes. I learned from that because not everyone wants to be a triathlete. So if you are a bodybuilder, a performance specialist, if you're a power lifter, please remember that you're limiting your client base. You want to open up your client base by getting those other skills. And that's what you do with educational options, doing those one-day workshops, making sure as well that you're training to stay competitive. So as a personal trainer, I think everyone can relate to this as well. Whenever I go into the grocery store, if my child is like snuck in a box of Captain Crunch, that's exactly when my clients are walking by and going, oh, look, she's eating Captain Crunch, right? So you have to make sure that you're walking the walk and doing the walk. And also remembering too that you want to own and you want to invest in your ask. So as a personal trainer, you want to ask not only your clients, why are they here? What do they want to do with the time that we have? But you need to ask yourself, what are you going to do in that hour? Are you going to wing it, which I do see in the personal training industry quite a bit? Or are you going to be fully prepared like we do in the CanFitPro course? We talk you through all the paperwork that you need to do. Currently, my intake form as a personal trainer is 12 pages long. And at the end of that 12 pages, that client has answered almost every question that I need to know to give them an individualized training program. And it's also a great tip as a trainer that if they take the time to fill that out, they're probably really dedicated and they want to get started. So don't delay them by saying things like, well, I'm only available this time and this time and this time. It's nice to ask them, what's the best time for you? When do you feel most active? When do you feel like you could get a workout in? And if it's at 6 a.m. and that's not your time as a trainer, you could either suck it up and learn, or you could recommend them to another trainer, because you want ultimately to think about the success of that person. And I think by being a trainer that thinks like that, I think that's why I've been successful. I think that's why I'm opening up my own gym in Muskoka this fall, bringing in lots of different training principles, but teaching courses for CanFitPro. It's part of what I do as my career, and I love it. It's a blast. So one of the other things that you want to remember too is when you are getting your skills updated every year, you want to make sure that you're thinking about the business aspect of it as well. You want to make sure that for every 3 courses you're taking on the newest trend in active aging. By the way, if this is not a field that you're comfortable getting into, you really should, because so many people are living longer. They want to live healthier longer. Huge market, and a huge market of change, and one where it's a domino effect in what other people see. I trained a man for 4 years who was dealing with all kinds of stuff. And towards the end, when people saw him coming into the gym with me in his wheelchair and then his walker and working out, they brought their posture up a little bit higher. They worked that much harder, and it really is inspiring to see all levels and all ages of fitness. So being that trainer that has that option of getting those skill sets to learn how to work with dynamic groups like that, active agers, young moms, young dads, single families, double families, blended families, women in their 40s and 50s, men in their 40s and 50s, people in their 20s and 30s, right? So you want to find that comfort level of who you like to train. And frankly, you also want to make sure that you're, again, going back to that idea of investing in yourself as a business. So with the hour that you train with your client, you also want to make sure that what are you putting into that hour? Are you putting in a good research program? Are you modifying everything? I can't think of a program that I've done that I haven't modified it as we're training the client because they've come in sore, or they didn't sleep right and their posture's off, or they're feeling really tired because they were up all night as a caregiver. You have to be able to think on your feet. So I really feel that the CanFitPro course provides you with that as well. I also think you need to have fun. So I don't know if I'm the only person on Facebook Live with CanFitPro that's ever been reasonably naked, but this is one of my effective training tools, and you really need to see the booty on this. The glutes are fantastic. So again, you want to check out this muscle suit. So again, people always ask me to see my abs. There they are. It is a wonderful training tool. This was an investment of about $200. Honestly, the camera is not going to do this justice. Like, I've even got legs on here as well. They're marvelous. And you want to have training tools like that. When people do courses with me, they always remember the fact that I have the muscle suit. And it is a lot of fun. Also good for Halloween, right? Because you want to multitask your stuff, and you can write it off as an educational expense. It's a win-win. So turning around here and looking at all these reasons, all the whys that people have, you want to remember what why stands for. As a CanFitPro trainer, the world is helped by you. So we've got people that want to learn to notice, to embrace, and enjoy. Of course, maintaining and improving mental and physical health, guiding others to their highest potential, making every day count, to challenge. Working out makes me feel amazing. I want to be strong. I want to be able to lift my child up out of the crib and not hurt my back. I want to share the joy of success with my family, that I'm following a goal, and I love squats, and I love helping people achieve their health goals. So we have the opportunity as pro trainers to change people's lives, and not only just pro trainers, as personal trainers, to make an impact on people's lives. The world can be a cruel place. So if you are coming from a position of kindness, from empathy, from a genuine and authentic mindset that you want the best for your client, your participant, with the personal training certification, you also have the opportunity to do small group training as well, without necessarily getting FIS. So lots of opportunities out there to show up and absolutely do your best. Thinking of other things that are on the wall here, being a better person than they were yesterday, and because they are absolutely worth it. And you have to remember that you're changing people, not only their bodies, but you're also changing their mindset as well. So with the personal training course, we do talk about that. We talk about all those resistance stories. I've heard them all myself. We talk to you about how to change them, how to make an impact. If I can speak to some of my own personal training examples that I've had over the 2 decades I've been doing this, one of my most favorite people that took my course came into the course, and after the first hour they snuck over to me and they went, I'm feeling really awkward, but I don't know where my bicep is. So from that person coming with that minimal skill set, right, just not knowing, to tell you that they aced the exam and aced their practical and are still currently training. They actually have a wait list at the gym that they train in because they're that good of a trainer. Okay, so meeting people like that, always remembering that you're making a difference. So I've certainly had those days where, oh man, you know what, can I just have a day off with Netflix and a good cup of coffee? Don't really feel like going in and training. And then you meet that for person, you show up, you are professional. They don't need to know you had a hard night. That's their job to tell you. You're just showing up. It's their hour, it's their time. And after 20 minutes of training somebody and finding the best in them, again, it's that whole analogy that goes back to the world is helped by you. And that's what we do at canfitpro. We want to make sure that we're here to make a difference. We do it through a recognized certification program. We stay close to strong standards. We give you that opportunity to constantly be learning more, being up more as much as you can. We not only provide you with resource information like the manual and with the FMA, with the cards, we also have a bi-monthly magazine as well that covers off all kinds of things in the fitness industry. And I actually learned about this one, about self-care not being selfish at all, in our current magazine. So I do encourage you to check that out. Available in print and also available in an online format as well. So that's pretty much it for me. That's a lot of Fyonna time for you. So congratulations on hanging out with me for the hour, or half an hour. But certainly know that I don't really have many regrets in my life. I like to say yes to things, and I'm really glad that 2 decades ago I said yes to canfitpro. I said yes to this certification. And if you're ever up in Muskoka and you want to come take a course with me, I offer lots of really fun benefits with the PTS course as well, because it's Muskoka and it's a destination location. So I make it worth your while and I make it fun. And then you get to see the whole muscle suit. You're getting teased right now, right? A little bit of a tease action for the PT potentials out there. So come out to my course, you get to see the whole thing. And I hope to see you soon. Anyone has any questions, we are happy to answer them as we can.